Well, today we're going to look at the differences between owning a 2.2 rimfire or should you opt for an FAC-rated air rifle instead. So let's look at the pros and cons of each of the systems, and then we'll go and take them out and actually shoot them and see the comparison between the two. Well, let's look at the 2.2 rimfire first. I mean, these have been around for decades now, and they offer really good, cheap and diverse rifle to buy for vermin control. You can get so many different styles now. They're relatively cheap. You can pick up a decent second-hand one for a couple £100 now and spend the money on a decent scope like this Myopter or a sound moderator like this Schultz & Larsen here. And they're just so easy. Just literally pick up and go. You can buy a box of ammunition, load the magazine, and just keep shooting. Whereas on an FAC-rated air rifle, you're going to have to use an external power source like air to keep topping it up. So that's one of the advantages of having a 2.2 rimfire, definitely, which is why I like them, and we've been using them for so many years. But there are, as we know, a lot of cons to have as well, and you've got to be very careful with 2.2 rimfire because they are prone to ricochet. Using a 40 grain bullet, they will ricochet off a hard surface or wet grass, so you have to be careful of the backdrop or safe shooting area behind it. You're also reasonably limited to the amount of ammunition you can get. I know you can get reduced loads, which I do use a lot of, and the bullet weights you can range between 29 to about 45 grains now. There are specialist 60 grains, but they'll need specialist twist rates on it. But even the 29 grain low velocity rounds like the CB caps or the CB longs or the Z-langs, which I really like using, or the Calibris, which are down at the level of an FAC air rifle, it's still very dangerous to shoot up at an elevated position, which is why rimfires you should never shoot elevated up in the tree unless you've got a really solid backdrop if you're shooting squirrel on a tree trunk. So you'll be very careful on that indeed. And so you can go the bullet choice, you can go subsonic, high velocity, but compared to an air rifle there's such a greater range of ammunition out there. When you actually look at it in comparison, you are actually a little bit limited on what you can actually use, and it's also dependent on what your gun likes as well. So let's have a look. Let's look at the FAC rated air rifle and see what the benefits of owning these are. Okay, so let's run through the advantages and disadvantages of owning an FAC rated air rifle. Obviously on an air rifle you're going to need an external power source, and that's one of the big disadvantages. Depending on the size of bottle you're actually going to use, you're going to be limited to the number of shots you can get, and also depending on the power you've got. This is a FX King 2.2 rated FAC air rifle, and it's at 70 to 80 foot-pounds, so you're going to get a smaller shot per charge than you will get for, say, a 24 foot-pound with the same similar size buddy bottle. Also remember, these are working at high pressures, and a lot of them use an O-ring system for all the seals, so compared to a 2.2 rimfire, an FAC air rifle is going to need more servicing, but a lot of these are easily done, and it's not difficult to do, and it's just one of the things you have to to learn about owning an FAC air rifle. The other disadvantage as well is they're a lot more expensive. Let's be honest with you. You can get a second-hand rimfire, like we said, for a couple £100, but some of these, like this, is going to be a couple of grand brand new. So just bear that in mind. They are very, very good, but they are an expensive option. But advantage-wise, they offer a massive advantage over the old 2.2 rimfire. That's basically because they are a lot safer. One of the reasons for this is a lot of them have a dial system or a power adjuster. So this is a 70 foot-pound rated, so 80 foot-pound rated. You can dial it all the way down to almost 12 foot-pound standard levels and dial it in between or up to any level you want, therefore making it safe to shoot in and around the farm, in barns, after ferals, up trees, in squirrels, and you won't get that carryover shot as you would with a 2.2 rimfire. Also far less ricochets as well. That's primarily because ammo pellets are incredibly cheap, so you have a great variety, so you can actually test for best accuracy, making it much easier. A lot of the pellets now are designed in the FAC rated air rifles like the Zane here. They are very, very projectile related, like a bullet shape. They're hollow, so they're designed to expand. They're designed also to give a good BC, which compared to rimfire ammunition, and we'll see that later on as well. And also another great advantage is you don't have to stick to one caliber. We've only got 2.2 here. On here, you can go from 177 all the way up to .35 if you want to. They're absolutely fantastic. And within those pellet caliber groups, obviously there's a much greater choice of pellet weights. So you can mix and match to get the accuracy you want, get the safety you want, depending on the game you're actually going to be shooting. So that's a big, big advantage of having an FAC rated air rifle. Anyway, let's go and take it out. We're going to shoot it head to head with similar weight bullets, and we'll do a trajectory drop as well and see how it shoots out in the field. Okay, let's look at those 2-2 rimfire 38 grain subsonics first and see how they shoot on the FX True Ballistics program. 1016, 1025, 1042, all nicely subsonic, 1048, and 1042. And what's nice on this system as well, if you press the next button, and here, it will give you the velocities at the different ranges of 25, 50, 75 and 100. And also we've put in the 38 grain weight there, so you will see that it's 91.6 grains foot-pound, and then progressively gets less as you go down to 100 yards, obviously. Press next again, and you've got some stats, and you've got the high and low shots, the standard deviation, and very importantly, the average ballistic coefficient here is 0.120. Which is great because I always tend to work out on the Ely subs, they're like 0.125 or 123, so that FX is spot on. Okay, let's now go and shoot the FX King with the 40 grain Zanes and see how they compare. Right, next up is the FX King, FAC rated with the 40 grain Zane. They'll be interested to see what the ballistic coefficient and the downrange trajectory and energy figures for this are. 891 feet per second. 893, 890, gosh, it's consistent, isn't it? 888, 890, and that's it. So now we go into that, we press the next, that gives you the velocities down to 100 yards, and then we have at 70 foot-pound. Now the all-important stats, and there we have the highs and lows, and the BC here of 0.113. So yes, that's a little bit less than the Ely subsonic. And we'll see. Go back now, and we'll shoot the the pellets, the Zanes 40 grains, and the Ely subsonics against each other at 25, 50, 75, and 100 yards, and see what the trajectory drop is on those. Okay, so we've got those Ely subsonics, and we're going to now shoot at progressively longer ranges, 25, 50, 75 and 100 yards, and it'll be interesting to see what the trajectory drop as well as the group sizes are. So we'll start off, say, those Ely subsonics at 25 yards. It's always nice and consistent, nice and quiet as well with the Schultz & Nelson sound moderator. And I've had this Seiko for donkey's years. It's got a nice Wenig thumbhole stock. Fancy grey from the States here. 25 yards, just like one big hole, lovely. Perfect, just one big hole at 25 yards. Okay, now I've got this fabulous new FX King, FAC rated, about 70 foot-pound energy with the 40 grain Zane projectiles. And we're set up now at 25 yards, and we'll do a group and see how it performs. It's so comfortable, this stock on this, it's lovely. That trigger is absolutely to die for as well, fantastic. So I would fit a Donny FL sound moderator because obviously there's no moderation on this at the moment. That's a nice little group. Oh, that's through the same hole. Last one. That's perfect. We just had one big hole and just one off at 25. Let's push it back to 50 yards and see if we can repeat that. Okay, so now back at 50 yards, let's shoot another group. Same point of impact as the 25, and we'll see how it drops. Yeah, about 3/4 inch low. Well, I actually went for the same hole. It's turned out to be a nice group actually. God, those Edis are really good over this, aren't they? Oh, one off. That's nice. That's a 1/2 inch group of 50 yards. Fantastic. Okay, at 50, let's go again and have a look. Interesting to see what the comparison is on the trajectory chart compared to the Ely's. Very comparable. Yeah, it's going slightly more left though on this. The wind has picked up a bit. Still a nice group at 50. Last one. Yeah, almost the same drop as the Ely Subsonics, and just as good group, so that's nice, isn't it? So let's now push it back to 75 and start again. Okay, now the target pushed back at 75. We've probably got about 2.5 inch group, 2.5 inch low. I imagine at this sort of range. Wind's picked up a little bit, but not too bad. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit over. No, it's 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches, isn't it? Oh, it's a bit low. It's a shame. Nice group otherwise. Yeah, it's about inch and a half group of 75. Still not bad. Okay, now we're at 75 yards with the Zane. Let's see what group size we get. I mean, it's going neck to neck with those Ely's. Let's have a look. Yeah, the wind's dropped as well, which is very, very nice. Ooh, I think I went through the same hole. Oh, this has turned out to be a good group. This is, I think, better than the 50-yard group. Yeah, that's a very nice group at 75. Very nice indeed. Okay, so 100 yards now the target. It'll be interesting to see. This will really push the limits of these Ely subs, but they are more than capable of shooting a good group at that range. Let me have a look. Same point of I aim at dead centre. I'll tell you, it's not moving off much for the wind by the looks of it, which is nice. So my optoscope is so good. You can actually spot the shots as you go. And the last one. Come on. That's not bad at all. That's probably a couple inch group, maybe a little bit less. Not bad at all. Okay, so we're at 100 yards now with the Zane 40 grain. Be really interested to see what the drop is of this. We say we're using the 25-yard zero and just letting the pellets drop. And here we go. First up. Yeah, it's still dead centre. Just trying to get. Oh, that's right. We only had 18 shots in the magazine, so I'm actually going to quickly load up 2 more because it's very, very easy. I'd forgotten about that. I thought it was a 20-round magazine, but it's an 18 shot in 2.2. So put the other 2 in. Hopefully, I won't ruin the group because it's looking to be quite good. Pop it in. Yeah, that's how quick and easy that is to reload. I get comfortable again. Come on, that's quite a nice group. Didn't see that one. I think that's an amazing group. I think that's about 1.25 inches, 100 yards. I can just see that this size is very clear. Well, as you can see, like for like, I think they're pretty comparable with the same calibre and the almost the same velocity and rating. And hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.